I am now privileged to invite Linda Olsen to the stage. Linda exemplifies the power of courage and dignity in the face of challenge. Trained as a radiologist, at age 29 she lost both legs and her right arm in a train versus car accident. And then in 2015 she was diagnosed with PD. One of the remarkable aspects of the WPC is the focus on how to live better with Parkinson's, and if anyone is qualified to talk on this issue, it is surely Linda. Thank you. Haven't you heard of LSVT?
Oh, I have.
You need microphones? Yes.
Yeah. Can you hear me? Well, here's the real one. Okay, this is the one we practiced. You're doing good. Perfect. First of all, a very big thank you to the World Parkinson Congress for bringing all of us to Kyoto. What a beautiful city, and to a host country of Japan. And secondly, Lindsay Isaacs, I'm in awe. Thank you so much for sharing everything with us today. Okay, my life as an amputee and our lives as Parkinson's patients have many similar challenges. Challenges that we didn't ask for, and challenges we share with our families, our friends, and our caregivers. Things like difficulty walking, looking funny, and trouble using our hands sometimes. 40 years ago, our lives turned upside down when the van we were riding in stalled on a railroad track in Germany. I woke up in the Salzburg Trauma Hospital knowing what had happened. Every time I looked, it was true. Both legs were gone. My entire right arm was gone. What I didn't know was how my husband Dave was doing. He was still young. I didn't want to be a burden to him for the rest of his life. The double doors swung open and I held my breath as Dave hobbled in with crutches, his left leg in a walking cast. I needed to be strong for him, so I smiled as he reached the side of my bed, silently rehearsing the 2 sentences I'd carefully memorized. I've been thinking about things. I'll understand if you don't want to stick around. And then I wait. He let go of the crutches and tears ran down his cheeks as he squeezed my hand. I didn't marry your arms and your legs. If you can do it, I can do it. It was really hard for me to understand why Dave would want to stick around with me until he sat me down one day and said, "You need my muscles, but I need your spirit and positive energy." And so we started our journey together. Transatlantic phone calls ended with, "Wow, you sound normal." And my answer was, "I'm the same person, just a lot smaller." Within the first week, we started making lists. We concentrated on what we could do and what needed to be done. It was useless to talk about what we couldn't do. And this is my new, at that time, left-hand writing because, obviously, like most people, I had been right-handed. Then I met Donna Pavlik, the world's best physical therapist. Our enthusiasm was contagious. Other patients and therapists watched and helped and laughed as I learned to do sit-ups, one-hand pull-ups, and lopsided one-arm push-ups, all the time trying to see who could have the best time. Sweat rolled down my face as I stood in my new legs, the ones that looked like they came from a plumber's supply store. We were thrilled when I walked a mile just 4 months after the accident. Dave and I worked hard to recreate our lives, and then one day we discovered we had really recreated. We were going to have a baby. Having kids forced us to innovate, to get out and go. First, it was the beach in San Diego. but we wanted to think bigger. Our kids were 5 and 8 when my college roommate called saying, "When are you going to get those kids out into the wilderness? Come on, let's go canoeing on Yellowstone Lake." Boy, did we ever get out into the wilderness. Canoeing and kayaking, 10-day trips, usually over 100 miles of lakes and rivers, remote places where we rarely saw anyone else, and where I became the head chef in my kitchens without walls. It didn't take long to realize that my fake legs were useless and that we could go much farther without them. So Dave created a pack frame for carrying me on his back. It was pretty entertaining to watch people's faces as they saw a two-headed hiker coming toward them on the trail. Over the next 20 years, in addition to wheelchairs and dog sleds and snow sleds, I was put on horses, we rafted, and even wheelbarrowed in remote places. That's down in South America, where we couldn't find anything else to get around in. We had wonderful 30-year careers as doctors. Dave, a radiation oncologist, and me, a diagnostic radiologist. Our children grew up and they left home. We retired so we could travel and watch our granddaughter grow up. And then it happened. We heard the words that many of you have heard, "I think you have Parkinson's disease." As I watched the images of my DAT scan appear on the monitor, I saw the abnormality, an absence of radionuclide uptake. Oh no, it's another amputation, but this time it's part of my brain that's missing. Now we're back to square one. We've been hit and knocked down. What are we going to do? Well, we regroup, we make new lists, we figure out what we can't do and we forget about those things. We figure out what we can do and we do those things. It's back to physical therapy and exercise. There are days I'd just like to tell my legs to ride on without me. As you can imagine, it's pretty hard to get my heart rate up and sweat by doing these activities without legs and an arm. So I use a lot of chair cardio videos to increase my exercise options. And yes, I've gone back to some of the old-fashioned exercises like push-ups, but mine are the one-arm kind. Actually, I did 22 of those, but I'm not going to make you watch all 22 of them. Now, just so you don't feel sorry for me, there is one thing I can do better than anyone else. Last month, I challenged my personal fitness trainer to a butt walk race. And I want you to watch what happened.
Hello, this is Caroline Jordan, and today I am going to try and win a butt race with Linda K. Olsen. So, wish me luck. Okay, here we go, Linda. All right, we have to be lined up. Our butts lined up. Legs out. Yep. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
I'd challenge any of you to the same race. I think I could beat you all. So what are we going to do? Well, let's get out and get our exercise every day, take our medicines, let's participate in all the clinical trials we can, and let's donate to research. Let's learn everything we can here in Kyoto and take it back to our colleagues at home. And who cares if it's hard and we look funny? Let's keep on going. Ikimashou. All right, thank you. Thank you.